And good morning. Can we say goodbye to 2024 and almost hello to 2025? Well, we can. We are less than 24 hours away from a brand new year, which is just absolutely crazy. Don't you all feel like we went so super fast from Thanksgiving into Christmas, and here we are getting into the new year? It just feels rushed. We all need to slow down a little bit, calm down a little bit, and take some time to be kind to one another, which is the message of The Real Monica Adams Show. Good morning to all of you, and if you're brand new to the show, do us a favor, let us know where you're watching from. That's what I would love to know, because we started adding platforms more and more over the last year and a half. So right now, we are live for you on Facebook, on YouTube, on X, Rumble, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And then let us know, is there a platform that's out there that you would like for us to continue to add into 2025? So this is the talk show. We also have an audio podcast that we drop on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. So you get a double dose of The Real Monica Adams Show on Thursdays. Welcome aboard. So what we're going to do today is look back at 2024. And I would love for this to be a very interactive show today so that you can tell us what stood out in your mind, what impacted you. Was 2024 hard for you? Can you not wait until 2025? You know, in my life coaching, I hear people say, I just want a brand new year. This one's been tough. Or you hear people say, this has been one of the best years of my life. You think about people who maybe just got recently engaged around Christmas, or maybe they will tonight. Maybe they had a baby. They found out that they're going to have a baby. All these happy things that happen, but then remember the loss. So remember, there's this bevy of emotions that happens in life. So it's not all rainbows and puppies and butterflies. You have to remember the people that are isolated and alone. You know, we get into winter and the colder months and everything looks dead outside. Seasonal affective disorder, it's a real thing. So remember to check in on your family and friends that might feel like they're suffering a bit. So here's kind of the rundown of what we're going to do today. We're going to give you some local news you can use like we've been doing the last year. And then Michelle's going to join the show with me today, and so is Zach. We're going to look back at some of the top news stories that affected our world, the United States as well as our world. And we'll look at one of the top local stories that affected a lot of us. We're still talking about that today. We'll get into some sports news. Did you watch that Mizzou game? I think I've got some good news for you. Today, you might be watching the Winter Classic. We'll discuss that. And then we'll talk about entertainers and singers that are no longer with us. We're going to run through that list. When I was in news, it was always very popular as people thought, oh, Michelle even said this to me this morning as I wrote up the list. She's like, I forgot about that person. I forgot about that person that passed away also. So we'll run down those entertainers and singers that have brought us so much joy in their field over the years. And then we've got a special message from our intern, Hannah, who we want to thank so much from all the things that she did, including moderating. A lot of you don't see her in the moderation anymore. It's because she just wrapped up her internship, but she will be the one that will be turning our audio podcast for us each and every Thursday. And then we're going to talk about Jalapeno, so you don't want to miss this. We're hoping that Jalapeno, the dog that we've been showing from Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, goes viral. I can tell you a video that Jessica Cook, the owner of Yuppie Puppy, she put it out last night, and when I went to bed, there were 1,000 views. I just checked. 51,000, and that's good. We want that to go into the hundreds of thousands because we've got to get this boy adopted. This is now the second year he has been with Yuppie Puppy. Enough is enough. But we need to tell you what I feel was a little bit of a heartbreaking story that then I look at it, and this is where your shifting of your mind goes. Probably a good thing that he didn't go to this family that decided to give up on him. We'll talk about all of that. That's coming at the very end of the show. Share this like crazy so we can get him adopted. All right, that is kind of a preview of what's to come today. Let's now get into the weather. If you have already headed out, and maybe you're at work and you're watching us while you're supposed to be working, thank you, but don't get fired. You did have some rain that you went through, and you probably dealt with maybe some ponding. Now, you're not dealing with freezing. That's good news. However, as you can see, 43, so it's still a little chilly for some of you. We do have some light rain out there. You're going to need your umbrella. Again, we're not talking about icy conditions. However, there is some snow in the forecast, and you can see on Thursday a slight chance as well going into Sunday and Monday. And Beckett said yesterday there could be be some ice and snow with that. So we'll be checking with him on Friday. He'll be back with us. But as far as temperatures are concerned, you can see 40s, the upper 30s, and then it really drops down, obviously, with the snow coming in. 32 on Saturday, 33 on Sunday, and then look at plummets to 27, 24, and 23 as we go into next week. So just be prepared for that. Yes, hello 2025, and welcome in the colder weather. All right, let's get to some news you can use. And we're going to kick things off this morning, first of all, with some hours-long wait times. I was just talking with our team and asked them, did you pay your personal property tax yet? If you have not, well, expect to be in long lines for 5 hours possibly. At the same time, it is online, folks. People have been trying to pay their personal property tax online and suddenly finding out that their accounts have been deleted from 2023. Not good news. So if you haven't done that yet, I'm just telling you to be prepared that that is what is to possibly come for you today. All right, we tell you that we are just 1 day away from January 1st, and there's some new laws that are going to take effect. For those of you that are looking at the minimum wage, those numbers are going up, but other things with regards to your phone when you're driving. So let's take a look at that for you this morning. As the new year approaches, a few new laws. The Siddons-Benning hands-free law started back in 2023 with a grace period where police have been giving out warnings for holding your phone while driving. That law officially goes into effect on New Year's Day, where tickets will now be issued. This is considered a secondary offense, okay? For example, the traffic violation could be due to speeding or reckless driving. However, they then could give you that ticket. So you can see what's off limits: texting, using social media, manually calling, watching videos, and taking photos. The other thing is money, 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 money. How about $13.75 an hour for minimum wage? Well, that's what you will see in Missouri by next year, though. Well, we should say a year from now, in 2026, it will go up to $15 an hour. However, that's already jumping to that high for those that live in Illinois. I know a lot of you might be very happy to hear that. Let's get into some sports news. Did you watch the Mizzou game? They were in the Citrus Bowl in Nashville. I had some friends that drove down there. And if you got frustrated and you decided to leave early, shame on you, because I have good news. They won. They beat Iowa. The final score was exactly what the spread was. They were favored by 3 points. So number 23 Missouri rallying from 10 down, beating Iowa 27-24 in the Music City Bowl. We talked about Illinois. They're in action against the Gamecocks, and that is in the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. That's on tap today. And kind of a somber story, but a happy story. This is what happens with emotions, right? Do you remember the story about the hockey player Matthew Gaudreau? Well, his widow has just given us an update. Look at this slide. She gave birth to their first child 4 months after his death. The widow of the late hockey player revealed this yesterday. Gaudreau was killed alongside his brother, NHL player Johnny, when they were riding bicycles and struck by an alleged drunk driver back in August. And the tragedy happened the night before they were to be groomsmen in their sister's wedding. So we all remember that story and just how horrific it was. I'll kind of go hand in hand with that. Another very top local story that we all followed was Colin Brown, the hockey player here in our area that was going home with his father and was the victim of a rolling gun battle. They have arrested 2 suspects in that. So that'll go into 2025 to see what happens with those suspects. But again, we all remember that's one of the top stories here in our local area. St. Louis Blues, by the way, are in action. They're in the Windy City playing at Wrigley. Yes, they'll turn that into the Winter Classic. And by the way, this is a first because normally you all watch the Winter Classic on January 1st on New Year's Day, but they're playing that this afternoon. It'll be the Blues and the Blackhawks. Face-off will be at 4 o'clock. All right, you are up to date in the news you can use, and that's how we do it, by the way, if you're new to our show. Trying to give you what you need to know here locally. Thank you, by the way, for all of our Missouri and Illinois watchers. But as we've been finding out, people have been telling us Oklahoma and Texas and Louisiana and then taking us into other countries. So we want to make sure that you know that we're also focusing on the world and all of us together. How do we connect? We bridge the gap and get rid of the hatred, and we find more positivity. So we're going to talk about stories that impacted all of us, all over the world. we're also going to give you the rundown, if you're just tuning in, of the entertainers that gave us so much in their field who passed in 2024, whether they're actors, actresses, singers. We've got a special message, again, from Hannah Ledford, who was a big part of our show over the last few months, and we are on a mission to get Jalapeno adopted. He's from Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. He's been there for 2 years, folks. We've got to find him a home. I would love to know that one of you decided to adopt him. Well, we'll get you hooked up with Yuppie Puppies for sure. So a lot to come. Michelle's going to join me, Michelle Harmon. We're going to go back and forth and talk about some of the top stories that stood out in our minds, in news, in sports, and entertainment. All of that's to come on The Real Monica Adams Show.
One of our things we always say is we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies, but giving back to the community, supporting the community, collaborating with other businesses.
Base pace. Now we give parameters here. Power walkers generally use incline. Yeah, I know.
Go, girls, go!
Because you're not only getting some great local roasted coffee, you're getting good people.
Good people is what it's about. And by the way, that person who turned up their nose, karma is that you know what.
Everyone needs to be kind. And it starts really with the adults. And then it goes down because we're the ones that are instilling this in our children, in our families, and everything thereafter.
We are live on location. And this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move. And welcome back. By the way, we are mobile. One of the great things that we love about this show is getting out to our community. We're live in Fenton today at a place called Adventure Unknown, which maybe you can go back and watch one of our shows where we did a Mobile Monica. This is a business side that they have connected to the incredible club. And if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend that you do so. So the Real Monica Adams team is here. We've got Zach Kimball directing and Michelle Harmon, one of my dearest friends, and you've also seen her on the show regularly. She's with us today as well and did a lot of work behind the scenes blowing up these balloons. Thank you for that, by the way. Do you have any air left?
I'm good.
She said she thought she was going to faint.
That was a lot to do this early in the morning. And then there was another thing we had to blow up too. That it's a.
We're going to use it all though.
Yeah.
We're excited about 2025. Was 2024 a good year for you?
It was a very good year.
See, sometimes it's not. Sometimes we want to go in, but again, we're very, very cognizant of the fact that maybe not all of you felt this year was the best. And we are going to run through. So Michelle came up with some top stories that she felt stood out in the news. I ran through and did some others also that I felt were very impactful in the world, also in the United States. But we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Colin Brown, which we just did. And then also the family of Officer Travis Brown recently giving us updates on him. If you don't remember that story, that was back in August already.
Wow.
Right? So there were protests that were taking place. Wife of a lieutenant with the St. Louis County Police, I want to thank the entire community of St. Louis for coming out full force and showing their love for him and continuing. I mean, I will tell you, there's tons of people that still say, Monica, what's the latest on TJ? And I love that you are so concerned about him, for our men and women in blue and the true
She
heroes.
is your trusted source.
Yes, please. Come to us. That's the news that we're going to give you, the news you can use. Obviously, the top national story, and I don't think that this is a no-brainer. Everywhere you looked, the most Googled story of 2024, what do you think it was?
Trump.
Yeah.
Versus Kamala.
Yes. So the incoming president, Donald Trump. The inauguration obviously will come in January. Whether you are on whatever side of the line, it is the fact that that's what was Googled so much. Whatever it was about the assassination. It was about the debates. It was about President Joe Biden after the debate with him, and how many people said, okay, he needs to step out of the race.
The bait and switch.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so suddenly then he obviously endorsed Kamala Harris. And then it was incredible. And here's the thing about news. If you watched any of the news sources, it was showing that it was so unbelievably close.
Right.
That's why it was
Right.
it blew my mind when suddenly it came back and you just saw that not be the case.
Right.
But here's the thing, politics obviously taking center stage in the United States, but all across the world. There were a lot of different presidential things in other countries as well that a lot of people looked at when they were Googling. So the disdain, though, that I saw, the hatred that I saw, I'm very confused by Michelle, because when you came back and looked at how high the numbers were to bring President Trump back in for another term, that's what didn't make sense to me. Were you confused by that at all?
I think because the one side was more vocal than the other. And so I think that's what you were hearing more on social media. And the other side was just like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take my vote to the polls and not engage.
But
so I think I think because we were getting just berated with like so much from one side in the social media, I think that's where everyone was thinking, oh, well, of course she's going to win. Of course she's going to win.
But it wasn't even social media. It was our trusted news sources,
Well, and the news,
right?
Yeah, everywhere you looked, that's what you were
on both
hearing.
sides,
That's what you were hearing.
whether it was the more conservative or more liberal stations, it was everybody looking at polls, and I really still to this day would love to know who does these polls, because it did show that the polls were super, super close.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was a runaway, and it surprised me.
Yeah.
I will say Kamala Harris went toe-to-toe with him. The debates, I was actually very impressed with her in the debates at the end.
At the end?
Yes. Yeah, not in the beginning.
Not
but
in the
she
beginning,
she found her own. I think she was coached a lot. She was helped a lot. I don't know. Who knows with that? But I'll give her that. So, now we move into a new regime.
Well, I think they were both coached a lot too.
Well, they needed to be.
Yeah.
And he needed
to be reined in. He needed to be reined in, for sure.
He does.
Yeah.
Obviously, the main thing that we think, or we hope, I should say, the hope is that we find some common ground, that the world turns itself around from an economical, financial standpoint. We have to all agree we're not in a good place. I mean, you go to the grocery stores, you go to the gas station, and it's like, do you have anything left? I feel so sorry for our college kids. They're having to figure out, do I pay for, if they have some type of rent, if they're at an apartment, do they pay for their car loan, or can they get groceries? I mean, it's gotten to that point. So those are all top stories. But obviously, as we mentioned, Trump was all over, and you saw he was the person of the year. Whether we agree with that or not, it was in Times Magazine, and you saw.
And I think with the person of the year, it's not necessarily like they're a good person, that they did good things.
It was the top story.
It was just the top story. That was the person that was talked about the most. So.
And I mentioned all the elections around the world, from the ballots of India, France, United Kingdom, many more countries, to the shifting candidates, trials, even assassination attempts here in the United States. 2024, again, unfolding a year of monumental elections and political change, again, all over the world. So it was politics. I mean, that's really the way we look at it. Politics took center stage.
Oh, Mexico's first woman president, a Jewish woman too.
Yes, which...
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely amazing.
And that, again, like I said, so from a political standpoint, it was all of us talking, whether it was here in the United States, or you're talking about Mexico, you're talking about United Kingdom, France, India. It was politics, which, again, not always the case in every year, but congratulations again, as you saw that former slide there, first woman. So go women power.
Yeah, go girl.
Exactly. We also, of course, unfortunately talked about war, the trauma of war, pro-Palestinian protests that we saw all over at college campuses, and a lot right here in our area. I remember people talking about their kids getting ready to go to school and then walking past protests and not wanting to get involved in the tuffle of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes me a little concerned with Max
Getting ready to
going
go to
be,
school?
yeah, looking at schools.
Protests happen everywhere.
Yeah.
You get fired up, you get passionate about something. Again, the trauma of war. So the pro-Palestinian protests we're seeing on campuses all over the world. If you have any comments, by the way, let me just go back to this. Good morning to all of you. What we're doing is recapping the last year. And I'd like to know from you as we go through this, if you think, oh gosh, ladies, this stood out as well. And if we didn't get a chance to drop that in, please let us know. And we'll go back and be like, oh, yeah, let's interact
We did
with
a lot
you.
of research, but I'm sure we missed a
right.
bunch. Stay tuned. There's more coming.
So honestly, besides the fact that war and politics, the assassination attempt of Trump going into office in January, besides those being some of the top stories, one of the top stories as well that's right up there with it just recently happened. And that was the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO. And what it did was started to get people talking about healthcare and how frustrated they were, but never in your wildest dreams would you think someone...
Not to this extreme.
No. And
Yeah.
it's, again...
And you have talked about that subject a lot on the show, especially in
Big
our
pharma.
Medical Mondays, and the impact that it makes on everyone.
But
to
who in their
see
right mind?
that-
Exactly. That was that not everybody? Please share your
Shocking.
comments about this.
Shocking.
It was very hard to watch. It was
Cold-blooded.
extremely difficult. And that person, when you watch whoever that person was that was on the side that rushed away right away, like, did this guy just get shot?
Yeah.
Then you see the SUV that was right along the side. If you have not seen the video, you might not want to watch it. It is very hard to watch.
It is hard to watch.
And again, I don't. You notice on this show, I do not give names of the people who do wrong because I don't think they deserve it.
No.
You all know what his name is. You know the name of the person, probably the suspects who took the life of Colin Brown. You might know the name of the person who tussled with Travis Brown. I'm not giving. They don't deserve their names out there, but you know who he was that took the life of the United Healthcare CEO. His name needs to be out there. So Brian Thompson, killed as the shooter claimed that he fought for the rights of American people. I understand fighting for the rights of our health care, but you don't take it to that extreme. So I just don't know. And then why do we do this show? We do this show to try to understand how do you even get to that. I don't get that.
and prevent that.
And that
do we
person, by
fix
the
that?
way, was highly intelligent. The thing about the name on the bullets was, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to go. But anyway, that was one of the top stories as well. Let's go to a happier time in Paris.
Yeah, the Olympics.
Right?
That was fun.
That
And
was
we watched it
incredible.
from Cabo.
We watched it from Cabo San Lucas. We were all engrossed into the closing ceremonies. The opening ceremonies were interesting.
I think we actually left the room a few times.
I
We're like,
was
hey,
so
let
confused.
us know when it's done because this is just long and drawn out, and then the whole feast with the blue man in the middle. It was bizarre.
It was
bizarre.
There, yep. It was not only bizarre, it was uncalled for. I'm just going to say that. There was a lot of people that were very offended by it. And I know that Paris is very extravagant and they're very eclectic and into their fashion
Cutting
and all
edge,
this, but
yes.
yeah, but I don't,
That was odd.
It was very, very odd.
It was very odd.
So tell us, by the way, I'd like to interact with you. What stood out for you in the Olympics? What was your favorite, by the way? For you, what was it?
The gymnasts.
Yeah, I agree
getting
with
gold.
that.
And the way the women were supporting each other so much and cheering each other on from the sidelines, that really just spoke volumes to me.
For the most part, but there was a little controversy with Simone Biles and another of the gymnasts, who I'm not giving her name because I just was frustrated by the animosity behind the scenes. But yes, the GOAT. I mean, come on. Simone's absolutely incredible. But for us, I figured Michelle would say the same, that stood out for you, the gymnast. But track and field was great. Swimming was great. But I don't know, from
The swimming-
gymnastics.
well, the river situation
Yeah, that-
was not good.
Who would want to swim in that?
I don't know. I'll give you all an update because I'm going to be actually on the Seine River in
August,
next
right? Or
fall.
just-
Yeah, next fall. So I'll let you know if it's
If it's safe to get into.
still gross. Oh, those poor people, though, having to swim in that. Oh. Oh.
By the way, let's again reintroduce. This is Michelle, Monica, the Real Monica Adams Show. We're in Fenton, Missouri, live on location for you today, talking about some top stories from last year. We're getting ready.
Celebrating for the new year.
We're getting ready for 2025. You can see the balloons behind us. Going through, again, some top stories from the last year, but the Olympics, to me, one of the happier times. And the reason why I say that is what it did for the world. We all stopped. We didn't talk about hatred. We didn't talk about politics. We weren't talking about war. Suddenly, it's as if none of that existed. So I say I just got to chill. If that can happen, why can't we do it beyond a couple of weeks? Why can't all of the countries come together? That's what we saw. There was no division. It was nothing but a united front.
I think we have to. We really should have an Olympics more often.
That and Christmas. Because Christmas makes us all happier.
Every month.
I'm serious.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're continuing to run through some top stories of 2024. But again, feel free to drop in and let us know what stood out for you, whether it was from the world, whether it was the United States, whether it was right here locally. What do you remember that impacted your life in 2024? Let us know when we return.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Monica show. It's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
And welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. It is a mobile Monica version. We are live on location in Fenton, Missouri. We are recapping 2024. Tell your friends. My goofball, she self-proclaimed saying that she was a dork. Michelle Hartman is with me. Michelle's been a big part of our show, as well as Zach Kimball. And at some point, we're going to have Zach come in here, and we'll talk about what he thought really stood out in his mind from our show in 2024, which, by the way, in our second half hour, we're really going to get into what stood out from our live shows. We're going to talk about entertainers and singers that have passed away that you probably forgot about because, as we were going through that list. Right now, we're talking about top things in 2024, and we want to thank all of you. Drop comments in on Instagram, or you want to drop them in on X or Facebook, YouTube. I'm looking at all of those. Linda says that river is dirty looking, but so is the Mississippi.
That's true. Not too many people are swimming in the Mississippi, though.
I hope not. You know what? In the past, though, I was thinking with you saying that in the news, there were people on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that would ski down by the barges.
Oh.
And they got arrested. It's like you're not supposed to be out there.
No.
Diane, thank you so much for saying that. She says, I have loved Beckett all year. Beckett, we love. So
right.
Beckett, yes, I was going to mention that a little bit later. But
We're still trying to get him a sponsor.
Yes, Beckett Moore, our aspiring meteorologist, became a part of our show in January. He said he thinks like the first or second week of January. And we love him as much as he loves all of us. I mean, that's the really cool thing. Here's this 15-year-old boy that could be off doing whatever he wants to do. But he said he cannot wait to put graphics together to give you the forecast.
He gets up early in the morning before school and gets it all ready and does the show. And
he's an old soul.
He loves it.
He's just an old soul.
Yeah.
As you're signing on, good morning to all of you. Let's see. Happy New Year, Michelle. We go way back when I purchased a Know Your Value coffee cup at the Women's Show. That's from Rose. Yes, we're still trying to figure out if the Working Women's Show is going to happen this year.
Yes.
Because someone behind the scenes we're praying for had some health scares. So I don't know if it's actually going to happen. We'll let you know about that. Happy blessed New Year to each and every one of you. I'll look back at those and we'll comment after the show. But again, yes, Linda says, the more weather. You love that. I love it. So what stood out for you? Whether it could be, again, tied to our show locally or in the news. Okay, the NASA astronauts, are they still up there floating around?
I don't know. Last time I saw them, their hair was standing up. They were doing backflips and somersaults, and
Suni and Butch.
I hope
Are
they're home.
they back? Are they still stuck in space? I mean, obviously all we ever care about is that they are safe, but I thought that was one of the strangest stories.
Yeah. NASA, let us know.
AI continuing to grab headlines. I'm actually going to have Zach, because Zach actually wanted to talk about that in Generational Talk. So we'll see what Zach has to say about AI from a technology standpoint. It scared people a couple years ago. I know a lot of people were emailing me when we first launched the show saying, you got to talk about AI. What do you think about AI, Monica? I think it's fascinating and scary at the same time.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes. Yeah, and the schools are really cracking down on it too, with the kids.
We don't know who's real anymore.
Yeah, the kids are like using it to do their reports.
Yes, because it'll write everything for you. It'll put, it is the thing I love about advancements in all aspects of life is, okay, I understand that we always have to evolve, but I also, in the same sentence, say, but that means people are going to lose jobs. Right? Let's go back to what happened at the grocery stores. It eliminated a lot of positions, and then everybody does their self-checkout. Yeah. I just see the same thing happening. Now, we talked about AI in medicine, and a lot of the doctors said, oh, yeah, it'll definitely help with a lot of the reporting aspect of it. I understand that. But I'm just scared about what you can and cannot believe anymore, what you're looking at, and then preying on our older people, right? I guess that's the way I look at it. I want to say good morning, by the way. Leachmeyer on Instagram said, Happy New Year. Can't stay on, but wanted to wish you all a wonderful New Year. Thank you for doing so.
Happy New Year.
Diane Isbell, we love you. She's on, and she said good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Hats by Diane. This is not a Hats by Diane, but
I don't know if she'd approve of that one.
Paying homage to her.
That looks good on you. I like that. We're going to have Zach put this one on. We'll take it out.
Oh, actually, we have another one that lights up.
Good. Okay.
This one lights up.
We'll give that to Zach when he comes in a little bit later. Okay, Linda just said, I think they're still in space. Are you serious?
Oh, my gosh, those poor people.
Stephanie, good morning. Monica and Michelle had an okay year. Now, this is what we were talking about earlier. She said she lost family and friends last year. My friend Harriet took me to the Working Women's Survival Show. We met you and Michelle and Allison Argram. Yeah, she was great, wasn't she? I don't know if it's going to take place, but we'll let you know. I just saw Jennifer Williams sign on Instagram on St. Louis Classic Company.
Hey.
Shout out to Jen. She will be on our show the January 7th, I believe it is. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Yeah,
January 7th. Yep. And we're going to talk about National Organization Month.
Her closet looks awesome, by the way.
Thank
I finally
you, Jennifer.
got to see it.
Yes.
All of Monica's shoes and booties are in there. Oh.
It looks, right?
Very nice.
And I needed that. It helps de-stress. So we're going to talk about what it means to have organization in life, which we all need. Michelle's really great at that, by the way. Where did you learn that? From your mom, or was it just
it was probably my ex-stepfather.
Oh.
He was very structured and strict about placement of things, and everything had to go just so.
She's really great at that, and she helps me with that a lot. Okay, let's talk about another fun thing. We drove miles, or I should say my husband did. We either drove or sat and inched along for hours and hours and hours to go get a glimpse of the
solar eclipse.
Yes.
I remember you giving me updates, text updates.
Oh my gosh, the line of traffic. But I do have to thank my husband. God love you. He's like, never again. I can believe it, because again, you wanted to get to a point where you saw totality, and you said you did not.
No, we stayed at home, but it was really, really cool to see the shadows that it formed just with the little that was eclipsed.
And what about everybody else? Where did you go and see it? And did you, besides the shadows, the temperature change?
The temperature change. That was really cool.
The stoplights suddenly being confused because it thought it was nighttime and it went on flash, and the creatures suddenly becoming quiet.
Yes.
That's what I thought was fascinating.
It was very, very still, quiet.
Yeah. Didn't hear the birds.
No,
Didn't
no
hear
birds.
the squirrels.
Yeah, I think all the animals were like,
what? Time to go to bed? We're so confused. About a second ago, it was bright out.
Well, and then there was such a mad rush on people getting the glasses and not finding glasses, and then people selling glasses that were not proper.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Again, there's all these
scammers.
I can't stand them. There's all these people that prey on you.
Like, I don't know why these didn't work.
I'm sorry, I bought you the wrong ones.
I don't know. It just didn't seem to work for me.
But where did you see it, by the way? I would like to know that. Did you get an amazing glimpse of it? We loved our experience. And I remember Beckett traveling pretty far to go see the eclipse as well.
Didn't you find like a memorial?
Yes.
Like a veterans memorial of sorts?
Yeah, we just kept driving, and all of a sudden Jim's like, I think I'm going to go over here. And so, we drove way down south and then pulled over, and it was like an American Legion or something like that. And there were people everywhere. And it was just, again, kind of like the Olympics where everyone came together. We're looking for more of those things. We won't have a total eclipse again until the 2040s, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a long, long time. Let's see. Others continue to gasp as they were able to see the Northern Lights in U.S. states.
Right.
Now, I know people here were looking out and saying, hey, did you catch glimpses? And I was like, no, I was looking at the wrong time, I guess, or I was working or sleeping. Did you see anything?
I think we had some cloud coverage or something that prevented.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Beckett mentioned that or not.
From seeing it, but that would have been really neat to see.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, again, we'll look at some comments here. For any of you that are signing on, Happy New Year. Again, Jennifer Williams from St. Louis Closet Company. Kasia Sitars, who I just had on from Canada. Hello to you, signing on. For all of you, again, we'll look at all of the different platforms. Let us know. Julie said, I love all your shows, especially Medical Mondays. Thank you very much. Diane said, it's still a cute fascinator.
Yay.
Yeah, you like that. Okay, so if you have anything that has stood out to you that we haven't talked about, please let us know. Michelle wanted to talk about Caitlin Clark because that was all over sports news, right?
Yeah, it got a lot of men interested in women's basketball.
Yes.
And she was breaking records. Like,
And still is.
Crazy, and still is. But that really got a lot of young women interested in the sport and men interested in the sport. And I think that is just phenomenal.
All-time leading scorer in NCAA, which
amazing.
Again created such a surge in buying tickets, selling those games out. Just absolutely love her. And then for a former sponsor of ours, Kathy Kilo Peterson, she loved her because they were doing commercials for State Farm.
Oh.
Which
I
was
did not know
just
that.
super, super cool. Yes.
Oh.
So way to
she
go.
was with Jake?
Yeah, she was with Jake and
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
I missed that.
They're all hung together.
Cute.
Let's see. Okay, so Michelle, this one I'm not familiar with. This was back in September. High school students raising money to give a Jeep Wrangler to their janitor. Where was
that
this?
was amazing. Oh gosh, what was the town? I know it popped up on social media, and I just thought it was just a wonderful story where these high school students, they just loved their janitor, and he had said his dream was to always own a Jeep Wrangler, and he did not have a vehicle at the time.
Aww.
So they did all this fundraising, put the money together to get him. Now it was a used vehicle, but still.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
And he was just over the moon and just so just honored to know that he had an impact on these young boys' lives. So I can't remember the name of the town, but I just thought that just says so much about today's youth.
So again, and you hear this in the stories that all of a sudden you hear us going, oh, wow, that was horrific. Oh my gosh, I remember that. Isn't that life?
Yep.
Right? It's the emotions high, the emotions low. We mentioned in the beginning, but I know a lot of you sign on at different times. Please remember, everybody, as you get ready to toot the horns and bang the pots and get all excited, not everybody's feeling that way. I mean, again, this is why I tell you it's the power of the second. Here we are, recapping and talking, but you never know when you step out. I mean, what happens? Just treasure, please, and be kind to each other. Treasure each moment that you have and all the blessings that you have. So we go from something happy to the flooding. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about weather, because weather really always is going to be way up there high in top stories. The hurricanes that everyone obviously was talking about, Helene and Milton. But you also were mentioning all the flooding that took place.
The flooding in Italy and Sicily, and that was impactful, not personally, but emotionally, because the day that we left Sicily, my mom and her friends, we left Sicily, it began to rain. I felt so bad for the people coming in that they were going to have a rainy period. But it got out of control, and Italy and Sicily flooded, I want to say it was like October 29th, really bad. And I was watching the footage knowing that, oh my gosh, I was just in that neighborhood. I was just there shopping and seeing these cars literally being washed out into the sea. And then Mount Etna erupted, and then another set of rains came and flooded again.
Well, it's the devastation of all of these. You know, Mother Nature can be our best friend and then our worst enemy. The hurricanes, they're still going through and trying to recover from all of that.
And
Hurricane,
tornadoes.
again, Helene and Milton. Wildfires as well. They tore through Southern California, burning dozens of homes. There were also major wildfires in Greece at the capital. So weather, you know, we would almost have to, I would have to talk to Beckett on Friday and ask him what stood out in his mind besides what we're showing you here that happened from the weather standpoint. Technology became a wow factor. Remember the video of Elon Musk when the shuttle was coming back and then perfectly just set itself down? I mean, the way it just blew my mind of, you look back at other launches and then how it comes back in and sets down, but the way it just fit right back in its little capsule was mind-blowing to me.
When they used to just like drop them in the ocean. And then they're like, okay, we think they fell around here, so let's like get our boats out and try and find the astronauts that are now
I mean, seriously.
parachuting down.
All right,
the precision is
before
incredible.
let's see, let me make sure we went through all of this. Oh yeah, let's talk. So we mentioned this before, but if you hadn't heard it, the word of the year for Webster, and this goes into what we're talking about. Hopefully, as we go into 2025, we'll have better words, because I don't like the word polarizing, because that just to me brings so much thoughts of divide.
Yes.
But for Webster, it was
I agree.
polarizing, and in Oxford, it was brain rot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Does that sum up a year you want to forget? I mean, for some, absolutely. And then in Massachusetts, you have a story at Cafe Milano that took place?
Yeah, they were giving away free coffee to anybody who came in dancing. I loved that story.
I saw that all over Instagram.
That was amazing.
Yep.
And people really brought it too. They weren't just, shuffling in. They were, getting down
Somebody
and,
was doing the
like
sprinkler.
grooving. Yeah.
Yes. So
That was great.
Kudos to them. Cafe
Yeah.
Milano, Middleborough, Massachusetts, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Giving out free coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was that just a certain time period? And are they still doing something like that?
I don't know if they're still doing it, but just the fact that they did it.
Take a cue from that, by the way.
That's great.
That's how you bring happiness. And instead of grumpy people going in because people are like, oh, I'm a zombie. I got to wake up to get my
Gotta
coffee.
get my coffee.
Have them work for it. It's kind of like Halloween, like we do in St. Louis. Have the kids
You
do
gotta tell a
tricks.
joke.
Exactly. All right, we're going to take a break. But that's, again, a lot of the things that stood out to us from last year. Anything that stood out to you? Let's see. Linda said we stayed home and had 98% eclipse. That was good for me. We had our glasses from the last one, and they worked perfect. Yeah, if you hung on to those, absolutely. The last one was the best, she said, though, for her. Her son traveled from France to view it with you. Absolutely. Yes, Diane Isbell. So the Eras Tour, I was remiss to say, that was just we're getting ready to switch into our entertainers. That was huge. The entertainment aspect, how much did I say? Billions. And then she gave a bunch of money to her staff, which I'm happy to see that Taylor did that.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yep. It was
I'm not a
like the
Swiftie,
highest.
so.
I'm not either, but the highest grossing concerts like ever.
Yeah.
And gave a lot of money from that, rightfully so, to her team.
Good for her.
But one of the top stories from entertainment was her and Kelsey and everybody, and just constantly showing that at every Chiefs game. It's like, enough, go back to the football game. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the entertainers that passed away. I'm going to run through the list for you, and then we're going to get into our mobile Monicas that really stood out to us. And we'll bring in Zach near the end. We'll bring in Hannah. And again, don't go anywhere because I want to get Jalapeno adopted. If you don't know who Jalapeno is, we've got an update that broke all of our hearts last night when we saw this. But I swear I know that little boy's home is coming soon. And I'm glad it wasn't with the people who supposedly were going to adopt him. The staff, you're so amazing at Yuppie Puppies. We'll have more on all of that. Again, drop in any comments that you want to. We're glad to have you with us as we recap 2024 on The Real Monica Adams Show. This is my wonderful role model, one of my best friends.
She's, oh my gosh, you got a long life. You could probably live to be 130 and stuff. And I said, oh God, I hope not.
It's getting hot in here. Don't take off all your clothes.
I'm not going to take off my clothes. On the radio tape, going to
Kansas City, Kansas City, here I come. We're gonna speak. We're not gonna spank anybody.
We are going to speak about knowing your value. And then I'm going to ask.
I'm going to spank them.
If you don't know your value and you don't grab hold of how important you are, I'm going to spank you.
Folks, you never know what you're going to get with her.
It's picking off lint.
And welcome back, The Real Monica Adams Show. Again, we are on multiple platforms. I can see comments coming in on Facebook, on Instagram. I can bop over to X, YouTube, LinkedIn. Did I forget a platform? If I did, just let us know where you would like for us to go in 2025. It's really beautiful to see how this show has grown.
It has.
And we're going to show all the
Makes me
wonderful
proud.
people, absolutely, proud of what we've been able to do on the skeleton crew. I mean, it really blows my mind sometimes. We're going to show you some of our standout mobile Monicas coming up in just a second. In entertainment news, it's the reason you might not be seeing a lot of the entertainers if you go to Hollywood. Maybe you can go and see their empty homes because they've all decided to leave the country.
Mass exodus. And it's not because of the election.
No, well, yeah, we'll see. There's so many legs to this story. We're talking about Sean Combs, charged with racketeering as well as sex trafficking, prostitution. How many entertainers are tied to Combs? Well, we'll see. Again, that story is going to be probably big in 2025. So from an entertainment standpoint, we're going to look at some pictures of both actors and singers that have passed. And I'm going to run through this list. This is something we used to end with in news and would make people go, oh my gosh, that's right. We don't have the time to have this full. I saw, if you want to search for it, there's some really good videos out there on YouTube that show the lives of these actors and actresses over the years and showing you them near the end, which I hated to see, especially Toby Keith, who fortunately I had a chance to get to know a lot when I was a morning show host at WIL, and looking at him at the end, it almost reminded me of Patrick Swayze. It was hard to look at those pictures, just knowing just how incredible he was. But let's go to our slides and take a look for you at some of the actors and singers that have passed. So here are some of the famous individuals who died in 2024. They include, of course, President Jimmy Carter, who just died this week at the age of 100, our oldest living United States president. Greg Gumbel, who just passed away, also longtime sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
Ugh.
That one hurt.
Yeah. Oh, great. I mean, just great actor, great voice, as we know him as Darth Vader. I mean, oh, gosh.
Terry Garr.
Terry Garr. Loved her in Mr. Mom. And
Quincy
Young
Jones.
Frankenstein. Oh,
I mean, the most
talent.
iconic, absolutely.
Amazing talent behind so many phenomenal musicians. Yeah.
Phil Donahue.
Talk show host, yes.
Bob Newhart.
Oh, the Newhart Show. So great.
Shannon Doherty. I forgot actually that she had passed.
Yeah.
I mean, and so young.
Oof, so young.
Maggie Smith, Greg Kinn, Louis Gossett Jr. I forgot about that as well.
Oh, he was. Oh, what was that movie? Iron Eagle. That he was in that. That was my favorite.
As we run through these, you can sit there and think about what they provided to us from an entertainment standpoint. John Ashton, John Bonsall, who was from the Oak Ridge Boys, Dabney Coleman, so many movies, but
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Yeah, Shelley Duvall.
Yep.
Mitzi Gaynor. Again, we're going to go and it's going to affect people on all generations. Baseball great Ricky Henderson, who just passed a couple of weeks ago. Bernard Hill from Titanic and Lord of the Rings. If you're a Days of Our Lives fan, which I know my mom is, Drake Hogestyn and Wayne Northrup. They both passed away this year. Whitney Houston's mother, Sissy, longtime gospel singer. Tito Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother. Dexter Scott King, son of Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh, wow.
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah. I remember it. That.
We just talked about this just this week. Linda Lavin from Alice. Steve Lawrence. Comedian Richard Lewis. Newsman Robert McNeil, The McNeil Report. Actor Peter Marshall. Singer Sergio Mendez. Actor Martin Mull. Veteran TV anchor Charles Osgood, The Osgood Files. Longtime actress Janice Page. This is for the younger generation. One Direction's Liam Payne. That was really difficult. I know our team.
Fell off the balcony?
Yes. Hannah and Tia were really devastated. In fact, Tia said that she cried about that one. So you think about the people that you lose that have stood out to you from an entertainment standpoint. For me, I cried when Whitney Houston did. I was so upset.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why would you just throw your life away? Singer Jack Russell of the band The Great White. Former NFL quarterback Frank Ryan. Grammy, this one was big for me. Grammy award-winning saxophonist David Sanborn, who I played saxophone when I was in grade school and high school.
Excellent talent.
And yes, and I forgot actually until I was going through that he had passed. Wellness great guru Richard Simmons. Forgot about him too.
Oh, gosh. He really started the whole fitness.
Well, he and Jack LaLanne.
Yeah.
Jack LaLanne first.
But he made it fun.
Well, he absolutely did.
Was it like jazzing to the oldies or something? What was he doing?
Absolutely.
Something like sweating to the oldies.
He came into Fox too, so I was able to meet him in person. He was so fun, just such a love.
Yeah, he was a hoot.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Did you forget that he passed this year?
I did
actually
forget.
somehow felt that it was longer.
I did forget.
Dame Maggie Smith from Downton Abbey and Harry Potter.
Yep.
David Soul, do you know that name? From Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, which one was he?
He was Hutch. Is that right? Wait, which is the blonde? Wasn't it Hutch?
Yeah.
David Soul was the blonde.
Yes. Okay.
Donald Sutherland.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
Tony
great.
Todd
Another
from the
great voice.
Candyman films. If you watch the Candyman films, he was...
I did not
No.
watch those.
Basketball Hall of Fame, Chet Walker. NBA All-Star and broadcaster Bill Walton. Rocky's own Carl Weathers. That one made me so sad. I loved him. And also NFL great. Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Oh,
we lost our sex
the
therapist.
Sex therapist. Oh my gosh. I hope she went out with a big smile on her face.
Chuck Woolery of Love Connection, Wheel of Fortune fame. Again, did you remember that all of these passed? But, just from a singing standpoint, from an actor standpoint, they provided so much to us. Now, don't get me wrong. There are others, but the list would go on and on and on and on. I really took the ones that I think would stand out for you. Okay, what stood out for us now, we're going to morph into our mobile Monicas and some of our standout guests as well. For you and for the world, because I was so thrilled that I originally found him on Instagram. Actually, there's a couple things, and I just realized we didn't put him in. So Russell Butler, you are absolutely, in my mind, a standout. So the Dancing UPS Man was one of my favorite interviews because he was so real with us of the struggles he had been through, but kind of like the free coffee to the people who danced. He just put out a dancing video one time with his friends and woke up and had like millions of views, and he's like, huh? I'm onto something here. And he is. He provides happiness to the world. So if you didn't see that, that's one of my favorites. The Dancing UPS Man, Russell Butler. We actually did re-air that interview during the holidays. So hopefully you had a chance to see that. But Peanut the Squirrel was the other one. So I saw that on Instagram and reached out. This was many, many months ago that we did the interview at the beginning of the year with Peanut's owners, the dad and mom. And then suddenly that takes on legs. All over the world when the devastation happened when the squirrel and a raccoon were taken and killed.
Awful. Absolutely.
Well, here's a little clip, by the
awful
way,
story.
from when we did that interview.
I am an animal lover. So any opportunity I get to meet another animal, I am the most joyful person in the world. But you have to lower your expectations because the animal doesn't know who you are.
Right.
You can't bring this much excitement because they're just going to be nervous or scared. But Peanut just jumps for joy when he sees people. And Peanut literally loves everybody. It's funny to see, the unique bonds and the unique things that could happen with a unique animal. And that's the most fun we have with this. Because after 7 years, again, living with a squirrel, you have to, come down and look and go, that's a squirrel. It's not a cat. It's not a dog. It is a squirrel. And, it's awesome that it went from, one rescue animal in Peanut to being able to establish a nonprofit to help more animals and get more involved in the animal community.
Well, those were the happy times, Mark, right? When, Peanut was running all over that interview for us, jumping. I cannot believe that happened. And again, as we go from 2024 into 2025, that story's not done.
No.
There's lawsuits for sure that are happening. So I'd love to bring him back on the show.
I specifically pulled that clip because he was saying how much Peanut loves people.
Yep.
And strangers, just absolutely loves them. And the fact that someone said, oh, it bit me, oh, you know, it's endangered, all these terrible things they were saying. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense from what the owners have seen in him.
Well,
so none of it made sense to me, and that's why I thought that clip was very poignant.
There were several stories, and again, Elon Musk, incoming President Trump, got a hold of this. It was all over, millions and millions and millions of people that suddenly took this vested interest. Joe Rogan had it on his show, like, what's going on here? So I'm glad for Mark and his wife that they're getting the notoriety that they want, because what they were doing those videos for was to raise money for the farm,
rescue.
Peanuts farm.
Freedom Farm. Yep.
For all of the animals that they had there. But
they were trying to help.
Mark had a video that said he believed that, and again, we'll see what happens with this, that somebody called on them because he and his wife have one of those fans only pages, or what's it called? It's the page.
Yeah.
They're like X-rated pages.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but that was a separate thing. It had nothing to do with that. But he thinks somebody was offended by that, and that's why he thinks that they were called in. And then they tried to make something up, and then they were like trying to pull his computers and stuff as if there was pornography or something happening there.
Yeah.
Again, strange.
Asked his wife if she was a U.S. citizen.
Yep.
I'm like, come on,
Yep.
like.
Yep. Just so much negativity.
Over a squirrel.
I know, that squirrel was bringing, just like the Dancing with Russell Butler, two, again, more viral Instagram pages, because they have millions and millions and millions of followers. And that's what I love, by the way. If you have interviews that you would like for us to do, just tag us, because it doesn't matter how big someone is. They've all enjoyed being a part of our show. And no one's too big for the show, by the way. A very dear friend of mine that I knew 30 years ago when I first started in radio, I did one of my very first sports interviews with Kelly Chase. So Chaser and I have been friends for 3 decades now, and it broke my heart when I heard that he had cancer. He was recovered when he came in and did our interview here. What happened to you on the way to the studio this morning?
Well, I was a little aggressive driving, and a gentleman stopped me and reminded me, and then he let me go. So it cost about 7 or 8 minutes. Yes.
Was a blues fan?
It was a gentleman. I don't know if he was a blues fan or if he even knew who I was, but I said I was going to do a TV show, and I mentioned your name, and I threw that out there. That's all.
Yeah, you just dropped my name. But one of the greatest things when someone hears the words, you have cancer, it's what happens in your spirit and in your mind, and the mental health and depression that can take over.
And it's real. It's funny because he told me, and I sat there. I was like, "What?" And I said, "I got leukemia," and he said, "Yeah." And he basically said, "Look, I don't know who you are, and I don't know anything about hockey, but these 2 doctors here think you're the toughest guy that walked the soil of St. Louis, and the 20 people on the other side of the wall are all concerned for you, and they're going to act."
And we've all been concerned, and unfortunately we're concerned again because he's in his fight again.
It's come back.
So everyone that knows Chaser, whether you're good friends with him like we are, or you've watched the man do what he did on the ice and what he's done for St. Louis, because he's a big, big advocate for our town. Chase, we got you. You are one of the strongest people that I know. When you see him in his videos of what he does in the hospital, he was doing, did you see him? He was doing jumping jacks in a costume the other day for it was like a snowman or something.
Is the Peloton back in there?
Oh, of course. Again, he's
Twister
got
brought
this.
it back.
Cancer, you picked the wrong guy. So yes, it has come back, and this time he actually had to get a transplant, which he didn't have to last time. But stood out to Michelle as one of our top stories. There were so many, and I actually decided not to go too deeply into it because I thought I don't want anybody to feel like, well, how come I didn't make the list? You all were incredible. I feel blessed every single day when someone sits in the blue chair and we're able to tell your story, whether it's a celebrity, whether it's a young child, whether it's a senior. And that's the thing. I've loved the kids that we've been able to feature on the show. The Souls for Souls campaign stood out in my mind. So they still do incredible things when you've got shoes to donate, and I just cleaned my closet out. So Souls for Soul campaign, look into that. And thank you, Todd Michaels, by the way, for letting us know about that. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to run through and take a look back at some of our favorite mobile Monicas. And then we're going to actually let Zach come in here and see if there's anything that stood out to him from some of the live shows we've done, or if there's a standout guest that he's had. We'll hear from Hannah, and then Jalapeno. We're going to get you adopted. I promise you that. More to come on The Real Monica Adams Show. knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh, wait. And welcome back. We are getting to the 8 o'clock hour. Longer show for you today because we have a lot to recap. I mean, we're trying to recap everything from 2024 in about an hour and a half. All right, stay with us on this if you can, or come back to the show because I'd like for you to remember, oh my gosh, that's right, this happened, that happened. Looking at comments as well, Stephanie said she was sad that she couldn't go to the Sunset Overlook Mobile Monica that we did. Yes, that was one of our favorites as well. We had so much that we gave away that day. Speaking of which, I've got some giveaways that I would like to do for you as you get into your New Year's resolution. So we'll do that to some of our diehards. And we do want to stress, if you've won something in the last 30 days, then that does not make you eligible again until another 30 days. Okay, that really gives the opportunity for a lot of you to win. We, of course, thank each and every one of you that are diehards, but we're going to go to the way it was in radio, that you would have to wait another 30 days until you won another prize. So if you are looking to get into your New Year's resolutions and you need a little help with that, we've got something on tap for you. Again, if you have any comments, drop them into Facebook, Instagram, any of those, either now or hashtag when you watch this later, and I'll make sure that you all are heard. A lot of people signing on, a lot of quiet people though, but yeah, let us know what stood out to you from our Mobile Monicas. You just mentioned Sunset Overlook. That was a lot of fun. Before I go to some of these clips, Michelle, did you have a favorite?
I always love the vault.
Yes, the fashion
vault
shows.
makeover shows. I love those, and I love that we've created that relationship with the ladies there, so we can continue to do that season after season.
Absolutely, and we have another one coming up in the spring. Yeah, we have a little clip from our fashion show extraordinaire, and I'd love to do more of these. You know, I love fashion, so let's take a look at that. Take a look back. Marketing, glad to have you with us.
Well, glad to be here. Thanks for coming out.
So this is brand new. I mean, it still smells like leather in here. You just opened up a couple weeks ago.
Yes, we did. And we're thrilled to be open. It was a long time in the making, but 2 years, 3 years in the making, and here we are.
Yes. And so here's the thing that I want everybody to know is the history of Rawlings. We're not talking just 50 years ago. We're not talking about even 100 years ago. How long has Rawlings been in St. Louis?
Yeah, we've been here since the company started in 1887, so 137 years in.
Mobile Monica, right? That's what I heard.
Mobile Monica,
there
yep.
It is.
And you can have 15 characters. Is that what I heard?
15 characters in
Okay.
2 different fonts. So we have block and script, but you can see how nice, you can basically transfer and see how you want your glove. So we started out with an all tan glove, and we've really made this a true one-of-a-kind custom.
Order that up for me, Ryan.
You got it.
Mobile Monica, and you can see that we are inside this really awesome experience. And we have that now. I need to put that on the wall.
Yeah.
And the bat.
And the bat, yeah.
And
Definitely.
again.
So that's a different kind of fashion. That's baseball fashion.
Yes.
That's not what we were calling for, but that was a great one too.
Well, you threw in a loop to our Zach.
Sorry.
But when you mentioned the vault, I'm like, well, we do have the vault. So it makes no sense to go backwards. So Eric and Ryan, by the way, were in that clip. Thank you for having us out. That was when the Rawlings Experience just opened at Westport.
It's such a cool place.
That was by far one of my favorites. Yep. First of all, it was the beginning of our show saying, holy cow, we can do this with just a few of us. I mean, here's what you all have to understand. And I know, we've got a handful of you on. Hopefully a lot of you get a chance to watch this later. But what we pull off in these Mobile Monicas is what we did with an entire crew at a TV station. That's what I'm really proud of. And I hope you all enjoy them. And I hope you understand there's a lot of work that goes into the behind the scenes and the day of, but you all have so much fun with us. Can I just say thank you to all of you that came out to Sugar Creek because it blew my mind. We had 2 weeks to promote that.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how many hundreds of people were there.
It was packed.
Yes.
It was packed.
Becky was thrilled, by the way, the owner.
And a lot of our crew was on vacation and out of town.
Yeah, it was me, Michelle, Zach out in Peoria, and my husband. It was the 4 of us.
Yep.
Trying to pull that off. Not trying, but we did.
We did.
We did pull it off.
We were
It was
awesome.
incredible.
We were awesome.
Julie says, I liked your Wet Your Whistle Wednesdays when I get a chance to watch them. Well, We might have one for you on New Year's. We might pop a little bubbly. Stay tuned for that. We still have those, by the way, Julie, every other Wednesday with Chuck Gillentine at Defiance Ridge Vineyard. So yes, we still have those. I'm glad you enjoy those as well. Again, if you've been a regular viewer of our show, what has stood out to you? Is there a guest that you absolutely love? Did somebody make you cry? Did somebody make you laugh? Did somebody change your life and make you go into something? We just saw the Rawlings experience. Someone who I think may have changed your life because you saw her resilience was Madonna Livingston, who is the owner of Just Pools. Now, the clip we have here is when we were having fun by the pool, but about a week or so after that, she talked about her resilience of losing 2 sons to fentanyl overdose. So it was the raw and real side. And the reason we did that is because she said, Monica, nobody talks about this stuff. And I said, oh, we will.
We will.
We'll do the things that will bring you to tears, and we'll do the things that make you laugh as well. Just get a chill?
I'm getting chills, yeah.
Yeah, she was amazing. Anyway, this is when we sat down and had some fun with Madonna.
We had to come outside, though. I mean, come on, look at this. They've got the fire, they've got the water going. You did this to tease me, Madonna. I know you did. So we have a beautiful pool that was put in by Just Pools, but I mentioned there's been such an evolution over the years. So I think our house is probably, let me think, well, probably closing in on 20 years old. So you think about pools put in 20 years ago and then what the pools are looking like now. What is the biggest thing that people are asking for? Is it features like this?
Sun ledges and waterfalls.
Sun ledges and waterfalls. But I mean, come on, the combination of fire and water is just beautiful. Michelle's got the other camera going. Look at that.
Yes, thank you again. Michelle runs the other cameras a lot. Wasn't that fun?
I do it all.
Did you want to jump in?
I did.
I want my husband to do it.
beautiful.
He's like, oh, don't put her next to that pool. She's going to win the fire and water feature at ours now. Yes.
And you can see that pool by the as you pass down the
On
highway.
55, yes. Madonna and the staff, we love you, and we do hope that you become a part of 2025 sponsorship because Just Pools was a big part of our summer and into early fall. Looking at some comments, Stacy said, I appreciated Wheels to Fields interview. Christy and Jeremiah's show, How to Persevere and Press On. Thankful for her flowers, her knowledge, and their new adventure in Wisconsin.
We need to check on them and see how that's coming along.
Absolutely. Again, let's see. Oh, and Julie Purcell said she was glad that she was able to come to that one. Yes, she stopped by the Just Pools one. Yeah, Sugar Creek was fun, Audra said. Great job. Thank you, Audra, for coming by with your beautiful mother. How about Firefly Grill? Another longtime friend of mine. That was a former boss of mine, by the way. When we always talk about be kind to everyone, you never know the flip-flop of life. She was my boss when I was just a teenager, and I was a waitress at Copperoo's in North County. She then had the entrepreneurial spirit, boss babe, and decided, I'm going to do this. I'm going to open my own place. And so we had a chance to sit down and talk with Christy Prosser Hall.
Super thrilled to finally get a chance to meet you because I want to thank you for bringing the happiness out in her face. She's so deserving of this.
Yes.
And happy anniversary, by the way. Oh, you have dimples. Like you're joining the dimple club.
Yes, he hides them with his beard. Try to get him to cut a little bit more. Yeah, he's got great dimples.
Let me ask you this. If you're just tuning in, by the way, this is Nick. This is Christy. We're at Firefly Grill in Chesterfield. 2-year anniversary coming up for Firefly. You two had your personal anniversary. What are you proudest of her for taking this leap?
Oh, wow. Just proud of her all around. I mean, it was a big leap. It's not an easy thing to do. You know, everybody always tell you like 2 to 5 years in a restaurant business, like if it's going to make it, but it just kept getting better and better. All the time spent.
And then it was the food. And thank you to you
chops.
and Ashlyn, by the way. Ashlyn, who was one of our interns, that was her very first day. We threw her into the fire.
We did.
She came and I was like, yeah, do you want to come? Do you want to
The
run a camera?
Firefly
Yeah. I mean, the really great thing about that day was I said, do you want to run a second camera? She could have said, oh, no, I'm so scared. She did it. It was a lot that she was trying to figure out. I'm like, down, 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 down. Show the pork chop.
The pork chop is so good.
Okay, so the pork chop and the salmon BLT, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had that too.
So Firefly Grill in Chesterfield. Remember, I always want to say this. So it's not just about supporting them the day of or the weeks before or just a week after. Constantly remember them. We'd love to have them back on again as well.
And tell them that we sent you.
Yes. And you still see them show up at promos that Zach puts together. Okay, I think Michelle enjoyed this one. She got naked. Take a look.
Which time?
love doing staycations. Let's talk
Yes.
about the importance of doing that for yourself, and just if people have children or if you have furry children, you just want to get away for the weekend or throughout the week.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we have wonderful room packages that we offer. You can, of course, always book your spa treatment along with it. You'll have access to our state-of-the-art facilities. So in the locker rooms, we have steam and sauna.
Yes.
So even if you don't have a spa appointment, you can still access as a hotel guest our steam and sauna in the fitness center that is complimentary as a guest of the hotel with us. So you'll have access to that. And of course, we hope you book a spa treatment with us so you can relax and unwind. You know, July is a perfect time of the month, right? It's a perfect month to just relax. It's a little hot out there. You can come in, get a nice relax.
And we both did. She got a little mini one. I went in before, and I'm just going to tell you right now, Liz, you are a rock star. I hope she's back, though, because Liz, I think broke her ankle or something. And one of my clients wanted to go in and get a massage from her. So pretty amazing, but I got to say, I just had a massage from Kevin at the Four Seasons. I'm going to put them neck and neck.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So support the Ritz. I don't know. My honey might be taking me there tonight to do a little dancing for New Year's.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
Since
I might.
your plans fell through. That's nice.
All of our plans fell through. Got to do something. You know I love to dance. So thank you, by the way, the Ritz-Carlton, for having us come, and they wanted us to bring attention to their fitness as well as their spa. So support those. And Richard, let's see. How do you get a mini one? A mini what? What did I just say?
Massage?
A mini massage?
Oh, I got a mini massage just because I was being sneaky and I snuck in there, and the secondary camera came in on me, and she was just rubbing on my shoulder. But I was under the covers. I was topless under the covers. But she was rubbing my shoulder, and I was going, "Oh my gosh, you caught me laying down on the job."
Well, you enough though to find that she was really good.
She worked on one shoulder, and I was just like, "Wow."
She's like, "Can I just stay here for the rest?" Exactly. Julie says, "I love supporting your people, and I tell them yes. Always do that. Make sure that they know where you found them out." Women power, Rose says. Yes, exactly. I hope I can attend some future Mobile Monicas. I love all your past shows about fitness. Okay, thank you for saying that. Self-care and makeup. Of course, all your hockey guests was a must-watch. Reed Lowe will be coming on. We're trying to figure out what day, maybe in January, that we can have Reed Lowe and Joey Vitale. We'll both be coming on.
If he brings bread.
Oh, that's right. She wants him. Joey bring
needs
bread.
to bring bread. Oh, Vitale Bakery. Oh.
If you're just tuning in, we're doing a recap of 2024 as we get ready for 2025 behind us. The Mobile Monica shows have always been a big hit. I mentioned we are in the business side of Adventure Unknown right now. That was one of our favorite shows as well. Here, all of it?
I've played all of it. Now, what am I good at is for a different question.
What are you good at?
None of it.
No.
So I can play pool all right.
What's the old
Ping pong,
adage?
I'm absolutely terrible. You're talking about the jack of all trades?
Yeah. Master of none.
People always forget the second part of that.
So here we go.
We've got. What I'm worst at.
Yeah, that's what you're worst at. Okay, you want to play a game?
You would think I've never played a sport in my life when you watch me play ping pong.
Have you watched the Olympics, by the way? And I don't get this. They hold the ball.
Right.
And they're like talking to it and they're meditating.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they go like this, and then I don't get it. It's strange.
It's all on the wrist.
Yeah, it's strange. It's
There's
fascinating.
Not even any need for it.
It's fascinating and strange at the same time. You've got old school, which here we go. So I was good at this.
Okay, foosball. I have one of these in my house.
A little foosball.
So where my dining room
where's the ball?
It should be on your side.
So I was always told that this was cheating. That if you do that.
Don't do that. I knew you were going to do it. When you said cheating,
Look.
I knew what you were at. That's why you can't do it. Yeah, that's why you can't do it.
I would. Okay, if that clip right after that, by the way, so did you all do that when you played foosball, by the way? Did you spin it?
No, I could never get the spin.
Well, it's cheating, evidently, according to Corey. But right after that, the end of that clip, I was like, here, I was a goalie. Let me go over here. And then I was doing this, and the little guy was like poking out, obviously. And he's like, I'm a father of, how many sons, or how many kids does Corey have? I think he said father of 2, maybe. Anyway,
I think Sam's napping.
Sam,
back there.
how many kids is? Yeah, 2. So he's a father of 2. But as I was doing and going over by the goalie, I said, "Well, you might watch out unless you want to have. If you want to have more kids, you might want to back off." We had so much fun.
Poke in the private.
Scott and Johanna and Corey, thank you for having us. Again, it was a blast, and the place is just absolutely beautiful. Another place that was gorgeous that I hadn't heard of, but we met them here because they were members here, was at the Landing Hub.
Oh, great place.
Absolutely.
I love you.
Oh, wait. Oh, look at this. What do I do?
Just put it in that slot, and then the two
Oh,
knobs.
look at that. Look,
Two knobs to the right, change your colors.
right here?
Yep.
Oh, look up here, Tia. Oh, I like that. I'm looking for Monica Blue. There it is, right there. Monica Blue. This is super, super cool. And I can understand why the kids love this so much. And it is comfy, actually. Just kicking back in a pod, just relaxing here at the landing hub. If your friends or your family are Star Wars fanatics. That was a blast. I know you're a big Star Wars fan. So when we walked through the hotel, the landing hub again in Pacific, and then they showed us this Star Wars room, we were like, what?
There's like a Wookiee rug on the wall.
What Star Wars fan would not want to stay?
It's really cool space.
Yes. So again, shout out Shane. Thank you so much for having us, and the Cigar Vault. Remember them. We're looking to do some more things in Pacific, as I've met some really incredible business owners. So as we're showing you these, the reason I'm doing it is to show you that this is what we can do at your business. We can bring this show to you, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands of viewers that get an opportunity to see you showcase for about an hour or an hour plus. A calming place that we went to was Yenology.
Both feel the holidays and feel the wave. I created these scents. So I have been working with another local company, Urban Candle, and we both feel the holidays and feel the wave. I created these scents. So
all right, and so that's the biggest thing that people have always said when they come into the studio is how great it smells. And near the end, the last month or so, we had candles from Yenology. Feel the myrrh and feel the holidays. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. There's so many realms of what we can do with these mobile Monicas that truly stand out to us. One of the biggest that a lot of you said that you were so happy that we went back to, I remember Marilyn saying, I'm so glad that you're back at Christopher's in Kirkwood.
Yeah. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's coming to town, to town. The kids in girl and boyland will have a jubilee. They're gonna build a toyland town all around the Christmas tree. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
The Kingsbury Place Singers. So that was a surprise for Mark Coulter last year. It made him cry last year. He's like, I cannot believe you got them to perform at our show. And so that was a must. We told them going
Had to
forward
bring him back.
that this needs to be an annual tradition.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling we may be back again next year. Christopher's, by the way, is where we celebrated one of our 100th shows, right? So we are coming up on 500. You think it's happening in March?
I think it's March.
We better get on the ball here.
I know. We need to lock in a location.
Well, that's why I'm mentioning it. So
hint, hint.
It's going to be a big one. I mean, think about it. We had 200. We missed 100. Carrie, thank you for counting how many shows we had. One of our viewers, Carrie Samuelson, she's like, did you know you already had 100? Now 200's coming up. That's where we celebrate our 200th with Christopher's. We had 300. We had 400 in October with Circle 6. Shout out to Tiffany, by the way. 500 needs to be huge. A ticketed event to raise money for charities near and dear to us. Bands, food, drinks.
You do it upright.
Past guests, past sponsors, all of you. Yeah. So we're running through that. So info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com is my email address. Let us know where you think that should be. Reach out to me and let's do it big. Let's see. The Vault you just mentioned. So we do have the clip now for The Vault.
Oh, good.
One of your favorites. Welcome back again. The Real Monica Adams Show on location at the Vault Luxury Resale. I told you in the weeks leading up to the show how much fun you would have. And if this is your first time ever seeing one of these, did you love it? Is there anything else that you would like for us to show you one more time? Let us know. We can scan the store. But we wanted to show you our models one final time, and then we'll go back through and talk about, again, our favorites. So if you just tuned in and you didn't see their evening wear, let's show the models all together and give them a round of applause, by the way. Thank you all so very much. Once again, our models are Kathleen Morris on my right, Kelly Meyer right next to her, Pat Harmon, Casey Schaefer, and at the end on the left is Johanna Schusler. Ladies, do you feel beautiful?
Yes.
That.
All right, thank you so much to all those ladies. And yes, it was nice to have Johanna, who is one of the owners here of where we are today. She had a lot of fun. She bought the jacket, right?
Yes, she was in, what did I call it? Winery casual?
Yes.
Yes, winery casual.
But she ended up buying the jacket because there were so many of you that said, she needs to buy the jacket, she needs to buy the jacket. So we will have another one of those coming up in March. Do you want to be a model? So start reaching out to us now. I would like to have all shapes, sizes, ethnicities, ages, etc. So if you want to be a part of a future fashion show, whether it's with the Vault or, hey, are there other stores that would like to have us do it?
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned yesterday Neiman Marcus that we would love to showcase. You think that's going to be a dangerous shoot for me?
Leave your wallet at home.
Okay. All right. But we do absolutely love those. Okay, a lot of you are saying that you love my Medical Mondays, which from a health standpoint, I was studying medicine before I got into broadcasting, so medicine's always been a big part of my life, but it's the combination of Eastern and Western culture medicine that I think you've all really enjoyed, the holistic, the homeopathic side, the natural healing we can do, combined with traditional medicine. This is a traditional medicine aspect of somebody that really thought out of the box. He is the only one in a 4 to 5 hour radius of St. Louis that is offering this special.
You don't feel it, you don't something until, and the doctor even ordered their areas test for their area. For example, you have liver something, probably you never have symptom, but it's there.
Right.
So you got a chance to look at the whole things, kind of like you want to survey the whole lake. You want to know where your fish are, right?
Yes.
But you need to know, you need to fish where the fish are.
Yeah, let's fish where the fish are. Let's catch the big one.
So, yeah.
And we may have, by the way. I was very real with you after that because then the radiologist looked at the 3,000 images that they're able to take in 40, 45 minutes.
Fascinating.
And, they can look at early markers for cancer, 500 plus other illnesses. I've had a handful of you that watch the show and have been in on your own. We're going to do a follow-up with the gentleman who just went in. His cardiologist said, I absolutely want you to do that. A few things showed up from mine that we are now talking about from an orthopedic standpoint and from a cardiovascular standpoint that we want to look deeper into. It may be nothing at all, but wouldn't you want to know? Wouldn't you want to catch something instead of waiting for stage 2, 3, 4 cancers or other illnesses? So shout out, by the way, to Jerry G. We love you. And thank you for your brilliant mind. Specialty MRI in Fenton, right around the corner. All right, we mentioned him earlier that you all love Beckett, so I was saving him near the end of the show. Beckett had us come to his home and showed us his inflatables.
A lot.
Santa right behind him. He looks massive. It's like he's going to take over. Okay, Beckett. So Beckett was talking about the sleigh being one of his favorites, but go ahead and start talking, and then I'll come out there and join you, and then you can take me through some of these. Which one, by the way, was the first one you started putting up?
Yeah, so the first one we started putting up actually isn't here anymore. It was a Frosty with the Christmas tree. It was pretty small compared to this one. And then we've grown from there, and actually Gigantic Santa, a different version of this one because it was like 14, 13 years ago. But yeah, that was one of our first ones as well. So we've had this one up every year since probably I was...
Okay, again, thank you so much, Beckett and Marty and Jill, Charlie. I don't know his other brother's name because he was sick and he came running out really quick. Shout out to you as well. Thank you for having us in your home, invading your home. We had so much fun. 11 humongous inflatables. So maybe that'll be a tradition as well. Maybe we'll go out there again next year. Beckett, we love you. Can't wait. Hopefully we'll tag you and let you know how much the viewers have appreciated everything that you've done. We've got a couple more that we're going to show you. Let me go back to some comments. Julie says she met Dr. Sarah Jensen yesterday. I know. Sarah wrote me. Now, I wasn't supposed to say anything, but now since you've said it, I can for HIPAA purposes. She sent me a text and said, Monica, one of your diehard viewers took a selfie with me. That was a first. And I said, oh, who was that? And she goes, I can't tell you. And I'm like, what? I was like, oh, HIPAA. But now you just did. Yep. So you loved her, didn't you? Dr. Sarah Jensen.
She's a celebrity now.
She will be back on the show. She's taking care of some business, focusing on her business. But she will be back in our Medical Mondays. Rose said, did you say Joey Vitale? Oh, my God. My friend works with him. Awesome guy.
He is an awesome guy.
She says he has to bring bread, by the way. Again, any comments about the past year or what you have loved? Julie said, I need to make it to Yenology. Yes, and remember to go in and say that you saw them right here. Stephanie, you're so welcome. Thank you for all you do. Happy New Year to you as well. Mark has a soothing voice from Christopher's, Rose says. He does. He's very soft-spoken.
He is. We have to keep telling him he has to speak up into the microphone.
Richard says a very happy new year to both of you. Thank you again for everything you do, not just the two of us, but everybody on our show. And so actually, let's go ahead. Can I punt here? Let's see. Oh, let me ask Zach. Yes. Yep. Let's go ahead and incorporate her because it makes sense. Hannah, we miss you. Hannah Ledford from SIUE, one of our interns. She wanted to do a special message to all of you of what this internship has meant to you. Her.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year. As some of you may know, I have been interning with Monica over this past semester, and sadly that has come to an end now, but I'm very excited to be staying on with Monica doing her podcast, her audio podcast, going into 2025, so I'm very excited to be doing that. But when reflecting on my internship, I couldn't help but think about all the amazing, incredible people that I've gotten to meet and gotten to hear their stories from over this past only a few months. I've just seen some of the most incredible people that I've ever seen or met. And, you know, it made waking up at 4 a.m. and driving to St. Louis worth it, because just every day there would be someone with an incredible story and someone with an incredible passion for what they're doing, or just someone who wants to bring goodness into the world. And that's been really incredible to experience and to meet some of these people. Like, I would have never gotten to meet these people, and I've gotten to meet them, and that's really cool. But yeah, speaking of amazing people, I've also gotten the chance to work with some pretty incredible people. Everyone on Monica's team is amazing. Michelle, Tia, Zach, everyone. Monica just has some really great people working for her, and they have also made this internship experience really wonderful. You know, they're all really positive, great people, and I'm very grateful to gotten the chance to work with them. And yeah, it's just been such a crazy experience, and I've gotten to experience so many things that I never thought I would be doing. I made an 8-minute long segment on dog baking, and I never thought I would be doing that, but I got the chance to do that, and that was super fun. And I've also gotten the chance to interact with some of the most dedicated fans that I have ever seen anywhere. You all know who you are. It's just been so cool to see everyone every morning. You know, they're like ready to go with their comments, and they're ready to contribute, and they just want to learn, or they just want to be a part of the community, and they just want to hear people's stories. And that's been another really wonderful experience. So I guess if I could sum up this whole internship, I've just gotten to experience some of the best people that I've ever met in my entire life. And that's been really wonderful. And can't say I'm going to miss driving to St. Louis in the morning, but I will miss seeing some of these people and getting the chance to meet them. But I know that going into 2025, this show is going to go so far, and it's just going to be amazing to see and watch, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what 2025 has to bring for everyone. So yeah, Happy New Year's, and I hope you all had a great holiday. Bye.
Oh my gosh, I love her. I just want to hug her. Don't you just want to hug her? So now you get a chance
teary-eyed
to actually see her. So she was talking about an 8-minute segment, which there were a lot of clips that she went through, and I didn't know which way she would go with it, how long she would want it to be, etc. She's talking about the Barking Baker, which we just debuted, and I knew it. I have had such an incredible response to it because you got a chance to see a whole nother side of The Real Monica Adams. Okay, it's time for our new cooking show. Instead of buying treats at a big box store, how about we make some? Woo! This is 3/4 of a cup of whole wheat flour. What if your dogs have a gluten intolerance? Impatient. We're impatient. You think you could do a better job? Success. You can add Dog Baker to Mom's resume. Thank you. Okay, I said it earlier. She self-proclaimed herself. That's the dorky side you get a chance to see of me. The goofy side. Let's put it that way. Let's eliminate the negativity. The goofy side of us, the childlike side.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. She's known me since 2009. When people tell you, "Oh, I know Monica," if they simply talk about the news side, "Oh, she's so poised and whatever." Yes, I mean, I was in the business for a long, long time. But if you truly know Monica, what adjectives would you use?
Well, she is the Energizer Bunny on Adderall with a little sprinkle of tahini.
Spicy.
Some spicy in there. And then, the dorkiness. So
goofiness.
It's kind of...
So yes,
Little of both.
there is the serious side, which obviously you see, and we pull in these really hard topics to talk about, but then we always find the light and the positivity and the hope and the inspiration, which is what this show has been about. But it's also, all right, that was a little heavy, let's go into something lighter, let's have some fun, which is why I wanted to do the Barking Baker segment. Yeah. Okay, what's up with my glasses? I lost an arm.
Broke. They should still work, though.
Let's see.
You can't really see out of those. They're kind of awful.
We're getting ready for 2025. We're talking about celebrating in our final moment Monica clip that, again, and there were so many more, but these are some of the ones that stood out, was the largest celebration. It's really kind of neck and neck. Big shout out to Tiffany and Larry at Circle 6.
That was fun.
Watering hole, because they have the farm and then the watering hole that opened up. Please go and see them in Defiance. We love them. And Tiffany, thanks for showing up at this one.
Supportive. I mentioned this earlier, so let's give a shout out to this beautiful woman that you saw for our 400th celebration. This is Tiffany Winkler. She and her husband Larry, they had a post that they put out within the last 24 hours, Becky, that I thought was a perfect way for us to wrap up our broadcast. Support of the community. So she said there's multiple things going on in Defiance today. We want you to come out and celebrate the grand opening of this beautiful event space here at Sugar Creek. Then go and support Mark. So Mark just opened up Stoic Whiskey and Stone Ledge Distillery, one of the old biker bars. And then go and support the Watering Hole in Circle 6. Community, lifting up community, lifting up community, right? Isn't that what you love about this?
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
It really is.
So here she is supporting her. And then we want you to continue the support. Who do you have playing tonight?
Wild Horse Creek Band. Yep.
And great food.
So it was just an entire day of celebrating, from our huge celebration, our end of year celebration at Sugar Creek Winery and Judgment Tree Distillery, to then people going over and supporting Mark with Stoic Whiskey, Stone Ledge, and then going over to see that band at the Watering Hole. So it was just an unbelievable amount of community support. And that is what I love about that area, Defiance and Augusta. But I would like to see the Real Monica Adams show take over other towns, because they've all been saying, you've been so supportive of our area. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. Let's shine the spotlight, business spotlight, on incredible businesses and incredible humans that have the entrepreneurial spirit to say, I want to own a small business and let's do this together.
Yeah, and doing so good in their community.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We asked you to stay tuned. We're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we are on a mission. For all of you that are on right now, do not, and I mean this, do not go anywhere, because if it's not you, there's got to be somebody that you know in all of your followers. This needs to be shared and go viral. So 51,000 views is what I saw when we came in here at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm going to update this and see how many more. Everyone is looking at this video of a dog named Jalapeno that has now spent 2 years at a home at Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, but looking for his forever home that the entire staff thought was yesterday. Wait till you hear what happened when we return. knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh, wait. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us. We knew this would be a longer show today, excuse me, because again, we're going through an entire year of recapping news stories, entertainers passing away, local stories, stories that stood out from guests that we have, and there's so much more. Again, we would be on for hours if we thanked each and every one of you, but we're just going to do that with one fell swoop. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being a part of us. To all of our sponsors that have been a part of the show from the very beginning, and one of those is Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. Jessica Cook, who has an incredible heart of gold, and she helps with adopting out these wonderful animals that they have there, these wonderful dogs that they have. One in particular that has been there for a while, let me see if you can see him on, yes, is Jalapeno. Now, I had a chance to interact with Jalapeno a handful of times. He's been there now for 2 years. He's gone through too many Thanksgivings and Christmases and New Year's. And again, the staff there is absolutely amazing. But yesterday, he thought he was going to get his forever home. Look at his face and look at this video. Let's see if I can... Hang on, let me pull a little, here we go. Okay, look at his face. I'm gonna get a little closer for you. Okay, does he not look like he's wondering, what did he do wrong? He did nothing wrong, but he got bathed. He had all the stuff packed and ready to go. Okay, we're going to come back, and then as we take a look at him on this beautiful shot of him, we're going to give you background on him. So pay attention, folks. Yes, he is the breed of a dog that so many people want. How many people, if we look at that for 2024, probably one of the biggest dog adoptions was these little Frenchies. So I'm going to give you some background on this gorgeous dog. He has been there with them again for 2 years, far too long. So when I first met him, he had wheels and he was running around with the wheels. Then they started to do water therapy with him, and he was able to stand on his own for about 5-10 minutes, got stronger and stronger. And as that happened, suddenly he didn't need them as much anymore. He does need to be in a home where he is by himself. So a lot of people are like, well, can he have a pack? If he can, then I can adopt him. That was the thing, that he was not able to. And so that was the reason that a lot of people were like, okay, then I don't know, I guess he's not going to be the right one for my home, but who could possibly? He's 5 years old. Again, I just mentioned, you can see on the picture, he's a French Bulldog. He doesn't know a human that he doesn't love immediately. He came to them with an old injury, and unfortunately, that injury is something that originally when people saw him, that they thought, okay, well, I don't know if I can work with him on this. They didn't have to. They worked with him on it. He has gone to several specialists and surgeries that would not make a difference on any movement improvement. The old injury was a tummy that was upset and severe allergies. He is so fast. When we were there, Ashlyn actually used to come to these Thursday positive talk times with me. He'd be running around off of his wheels, and you couldn't keep up with him. Extreme upper body strength, thanks to his rehab. He can stand, as I mentioned before, for short periods of time. He wears diapers and boots and has a wardrobe that he loves to wear to keep him comfy. He loves his bath time, which he just had yesterday. They bathed him. They had all of his items ready to go home. They had taken photos. They shared memories. All of that stuff. He was supposed to be sent home because they were saying that he was the perfect dog for them. He does have a wheelchair. He barks. He sounds like an Ewok, they said. He loves to be in the kitchen while they make food. He's happy all the time. He loves massages. He's not on any medication. His adoption fee was paid a long time ago for when the perfect home comes along. He will give you big sloppy kisses. He loves to play fetch As long as you let him, he will run to go get his toy. He'll bring it back to you. Hello? Does he not sound perfect? He is. He has the most incredible love for you. Now, what happened yesterday, as we mentioned, is that they believed that he was going home. So the post from Jessica said, well, today was supposed to end differently, and we would all shed happy tears instead of sad ones. Jalapeno had a scheduled go home after almost 2 years of waiting for his home to come along. Meet and greets happened. The home photos were sent. The messages were confirmed. And when they called, they hung up on them. They thought for sure that had to be a mistake, so they called back, and surely it happened again. And then no return messages. Again, bathed, packed, everything, everyone was cheering him on. In fact, here's the thing that also, besides that video breaking my heart, the staff stayed for an extra hour, surely believing that the people were running late. Who does that? That's what I'm going to ask. Why would you go through all that? Why would you put the staff through that devastation that they think that this is finally going to happen? I mean, it reminds us again of any other of the animals that had been there, had been returned, which again doesn't make any sense. But when you think about the grand scheme of it all, you'd rather have them return to this beautiful secondary home until they're able to find the home that he belongs in. So to all the staff at Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue, I'm so sorry that everything that you go through on a daily basis. So an hour and a half ago, almost 2 hours ago when we came in here, it was at 51,000. I just updated it, 72,000. This is being shared like crazy. Let's make this video go viral. Michelle, did you drop this in? If not, I'm going to give this one to you.
I'm trying to find it.
Okay, I'm going to send this to
I know
Michelle.
I have it on my phone.
Okay, so Michelle's going to drop this in comments
Yes.
so that we can continue to make this video go viral so that whoever is meant, there it is, whoever is meant to be the forever home will happen for Jalapeno. Jalapeno, I would take you in a heartbeat if I didn't have 3 dogs, but you can't be with other ones. So a solo dog is what we need. A solo dog home is what we need for Jalapeno. Let's do this, folks. Let's make this happen. Julie, I know. Julie just said this makes me so sad. Agreed. I just don't get it. We appreciate you both and all you do. I love starting my day with you. Well, thank you so much. Audra says the barking baker. I love this. Look forward to more. Woof. You'll have
Woof,
more.
woof.
We were going to make a baby Jesus cake for a birthday cake. We didn't get a chance to make the cake, but we will have more, trust me. Glad Hannah will be sticking around. Rose, to me, Monica and Michelle and the team are making the world a better place one by one. Thank you for the positivity that we need so desperately. Kristen says, sounds like a fantastic internship. Congratulations, so sweet. Yeah, so Audra, by the way, who watches us on a regular basis, is very connected to other universities in town, as well as the University of Missouri and Columbia. So we're looking for winter interns right now, and then it'll go into spring and summer. So do you have someone that would like to join us to learn how to direct, learn how to shoot, learn how to edit, learn how to moderate, learn how to field direct, produce, write? There's so many things that you can do.
We don't make them run coffee.
No. And I'm so glad you said that.
We put them to work.
I'm glad that you stressed that because that's something that I could never stand. That people were just like, I went to go to get an actual internship and it was just go get this and go get that.
Yeah.
You are not going to be a gopher for me.
No.
Not
No.
going to. I might put you in a gopher costume. You never know. Hey, I'm just thinking when I was at WIL, we used to put our interns in a big cow because we would do the cash cow. Now, having said that, we don't have cash to give you, but we do have some 30-day, actually I think it's 8 private sessions with John Zarbuck at BioFit, and he's got a few different locations.
That's fantastic.
So I want you to name one of my interns, and I'm saying this again. If you won in the last 30 days, you cannot win again until 30 days again. So we've had several interns since the show launched a year and a half ago. I want you to just name one of them, and I've got 2 certificates to give away for you to be jump-started on your New Year's resolutions. This is huge. 8 private sessions with John and his team at BioFit. And thank you, by the way, for being a part of the show this past year because we had a lot of fun. We were a little sore afterwards, or a lot sore.
It's an incredible workout in just a teeny tiny amount of time.
I didn't know whether she was in pain or having sex.
I felt like I was giving birth.
I'm serious. It was absolutely funny. So, Ashlyn, let's see. Julie Purcell. Has Julie won in the last 30 days?
I don't think so.
Okay, Julie, congratulations. Ashlyn was one of them. Well, you had another one. Julie's like, is it Ashlyn or Hannah? Yes, they both were. So Audra, it's spelled Hannah, but she put Anna. I'm going to give you one as well. Okay, Audra and Julie, congratulations to you. We've got some other big giveaways that we will do in 2025, and I do mean a big one. We've got a dinner for 4, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dinner for 4 at where we do Wet Your Whistle with Defiance Ridge Vineyards and Chuck Gillentine. It's one of their farmhouse dinners.
Farmhouse dinners.
Woo, which are good.
Mhm.
That's coming up. We're going to give that away for you next week. Yet another reason to continue to watch the show. All right.
And share.
And share. Oh, yeah, tell them about the importance of subscribing as I make sure we don't miss anybody. Tell them it does not cost money.
It doesn't cost anything. It just, you get notified when we're live, and that is actually convenient.
Yes. Let's see. I can't remember the girl you had on your show who answered every question with, Stop it, Richard. Richard, it's Hannah.
Yep.
She
Richard's
said she
being
was
a bully.
bullied. She said she was bullied by you.
Yep.
That was not nice. We remember, we're always being nice. Yes, Audrey, you are correct. So we will give you those, and again, good luck to you. Okay, let's have Zach come in here. If we can, can we do this? Okay, we're going to take a quick break because I want to know what Zach had to say. Anything last for you as we wrap up?
No. Thank you all
Toot
so
your
much.
horn.
Thank you all so much for watching us this year, and I really enjoyed working with you.
I wanted her to toot her own horn because she deserved it. All right, one final quick break, and we say goodbye with myself and Zach, our director.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
All right, welcome back. The Real Monica Adams Show. And Zach, he's got the, does it light up?
Michelle said it was supposed to. Oh, there's a button on the front.
Oh, the front right here. There we go.
There we go.
We're a little flashy here. Okay, Zach, first of all, thank you so much. We are coming up on almost a full year that Zach switched, and this is what can happen, switched from his internship to working with us as our technical director. Hannah's getting ready to transition from her internship to the audio editor. So these are things that can happen on the show. What have you loved most about this last year?
Oh, just specific shows or just in general?
In general.
In general, I love getting to do something that I love doing and that I'm passionate about, and to get paid for it too. So, yeah, no, to be able to, you know, have this passion for content creation and for directing and all this stuff that I learned in school, to be able to actually apply it, and, you know, just spread the positivity and help, you know, run things. Like you said, we have a very small crew, but I'm very, very proud of what we've accomplished and how professional we get things done. So.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. And again, it's also fun for me to help lead them and see the growth and show that this is where we were and now this is where we can go to. And he's taken everything on like a champ, from directing in studio to then taking it out to these big live shows, which again, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Any favorite mobile, Monica?
I was going to say Circle 6 was probably my favorite. Well, Landing Hub's up there too.
Yep.
But just getting to see Ruby Lee perform live in person, that was really cool at the watering hole. and then getting to see you crawl in the Star Wars pod was a lot of fun. And then we had a fun little pizza party after the landing hub wrapped up.
Wasn't that delicious?
That was a lot of fun.
I think that's actually one of the best pizzas I've ever had. Shout out to Adam. Thank you with his pizza oven that he had. He made that for us quickly. It was delicious. Again, some incredible guests, incredible live shows. Anything that you on your wish list would like to see for 2025?
Ooh, even bigger, even more.
And, I didn't get a chance. Well, we just did start something. So when I think about new segments, we originally launched Medical Monday. That was a big hit. We started Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Thank you to my husband for coming up with that name. We did Positive Talk Time with Yuppie Puppies Forever Rescue. Hopefully that continues. Friendship Friday, by the way, we have Dot Fleshman coming back on this Friday. But we're also thinking of doing Fashion Fridays because I love fashion and I would like to show up-and-coming designers in our area. But generational talk, do you like that?
That was fun. I think, if we can flesh that out more and help bridge that gap, I think there's a lot of important and educational conversations that can be had. So
right, and it's really about bringing everybody together and not having so much division in the world. What I started doing was going to different businesses, whether I'm just out shopping at a grocery store or whatever, and thinking, hey, do you have something you want to have the other generation know? So we tape some of the stylists at Sheer Sherry. We actually have Sherry Anderson in my next generational talk. She just recorded a video for me, but you could actually send those from your home. Start talking to your kids or your moms or your grandparents and have them answer this question. If only the other generation understood this about our generation, fill that in, send me the clips to info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com and you might see yourself on the show. All right, hold that up in front of you because we got to be goofballs.
Our frame here.
Yep.
Gotta make sure Michelle's hard work of blowing gets...
We're in the frame. We're framing ourselves. Cheese.
Happy New Year.
Wait. Oh, this is not very good. All right, everyone. We've loved having you as a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. Share, share, share. Subscribe, which simply means to click so that you know when we are going live. And share like crazy. I want to see the growth of this show just double, if not triple. Ruby Lee's been asking for, I think, 100 new followers each day. So she's gotten herself up to 80,000 now. Wow. We need the same, all right? So continue to share this with your friends and family. A lot of you might think that you are already following, and you're not. So be sure to look at your page, see if it says follow on whatever platform we're on. And again, thank you for all you've given us. If it's been a hard year, there's a day coming tomorrow where it's turned the calendar for a brand new year. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you from the Real Monica Adams team.
Cool.